Hi everybody, welcome to Sacred Flow TV. I'm Tova and this is Kirk, and we're going to be chatting about a very important subject in magic or spiritual work.
I am a shamanic healer. I am a distance healer. I am a Kundalini Reiki master teacher, and a psychic medium. That's who I am in a nutshell.
I've always used them, especially like when I was doing spiritual work, like when I was doing my mediumship. I didn't know I was using them at that time. So, like when you would open up, you would sit in a room and open them up. So I was like opening all these energy centers up and not realizing they were actually chakra system. And so that's where mine started. Where did yours start?
Well, from my teachings and from what I've been taught, we've always had chakras. We're born with them. Utilizing them when we find out what they are, it's a
Yeah.
whole nother story. I found out through a mentor that I had at one time many, many years ago. And he taught me about the chakras and how to spend them, if you would, in order to balance them out, to brighten them up, and for them to work for you. So this was probably almost 20 years ago, maybe. And I learned how to work with them, and they work wonders in so many different ways to how you feel, how your day's going to be. It can help you with sicknesses, and for
Mhm.
people who like to explore different parts of spirituality, this can also help you navigate in between dimensions as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I was thinking, the different ways because of being in covens as well as being like in the mediumship stuff and all the other stuff. I found that different people are using them but not labeling them the same thing.
Right.
So, for example, in the coven, they opened up a huge chakra, like a cross in the middle of their stomach in the solar plexus area. So
Hmm.
that would be grown like with every breath. And so,
Wow.
in a way, they were opening up the whole of their body by making it bigger and bigger and bigger, but they
Right.
weren't doing it like in a chakra system. And
Right.
I was like stunned at that because I'd so grown used to opening up my chakras. And so then I got all caught up with when they label them the Indian names and all that.
Right.
Um, and that sort of put me off a bit because I'm thinking, well, that's more for like yoga and stuff like that. And I wasn't into that. So it
Right.
was like, so what can I do? I thought to be doing this energy work, but not the Indian one. And I didn't realize that it was universal.
Absolutely. Definitely universal. Yes. And depending on where you are, a lot of people don't use the Indian terminology. We just do them by the
Yeah.
color. We
Yeah.
just label them just by the colors. So it's kind of easy for a lot of people to learn that way and to navigate through them like that. So a lot
Yeah.
of us we can do. So it would have been a little hard, but it still all works the same because, as you say, it is universal.
Definitely. And I suppose mine, when I got to it, was when I was doing Reiki. And I
Mhm.
realized that when I was doing healings, before I'd done the Reiki, that I was doing that anyway. I was going over the head and then the throat and then the heart and going down the body. And I was using my hand and it was like moving in circulars. Uh, and sometimes it would go the opposite way. And I just sort of went with that and the intuition. So when
Mhm.
I started to learn how to do the Reiki, I was a bit stunned that that's what I'd been doing anyway, apart from the
Right.
symbols. So that's when it sort of I used it a lot more from then and incorporated it in with the spirits.
Hmm.
So it was like I did that and they came and it was quite an eye opener,
Oh,
really.
absolutely.
Mm.
I want to explain first how I work with the chakras, and I always
Yeah,
start from the bottom and go to the top. So what I do when I'm working on somebody is I ground them first. I relieve
yeah,
them of any and all nervousness, anxiety, and things like that. So before we even get to the chakras, it's a thing called the Earth's disc. Now that is right under the root chakra. So
Yeah.
you would just think of Earth's core, right? And then it will come up, and it will come up to like the top of your kneecap. So that's where the Earth's disc would be, and that color is brown.
Mm-hmm.
So when you utilize this disc, you have to envision tree branches coming up from the Earth's crust, and they start to wrap around your feet, wrap around your legs, going up until you get to the top of your kneecap. And when you visualize that, when it gets there, you visualize everything turning brown in that area for that particular disc. And then you put one hand in between the other. So you'll have the brown in the middle, and you just shift it. You spin it like this. You spin it. And when that happens, it'll go just like this. And you'll feel a tingly sensation in your legs. And all of a sudden, you're calming down. And, you know, when that happens, it's easier for you to open up more dealing with the chakras after that. So this is before we even begin. So while the person is, excuse me, is sitting or lying down, when that happens, you then, of course, go to the root chakra. And this is the color red, and it's your base of existence. This is your fight or flight. This is your overall being of existence, really. Because in my opinion, none of these chakras cannot operate without the root chakra kind of working or kind of opening up, you know, because when it's, I don't want to say when it's underactive, but I'll say when it is, I don't want to say destroyed, but when it's really damaged, it can affect all the rest of your chakras. It's like a domino effect.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that color is red, and it's from the top of your kneecap to the top of your thigh, and that color is red. So this deals with self-esteem, self-love, I mean, all of that. So again, when you visualize the chakras, visualize them in the darkest color that you can possibly visualize for every chakra. So it would be a dark red. I don't know if it's a cherry red or just whatever dark color you can think of for the red, and then it just spins like that. So after that, you have what's called the sacral chakra, and the sacral chakra starts at the top of your thigh to the tip of your navel. So what that governs is sexuality. It governs creativity, and that color is orange. So again, the darkest color of orange you can, and then you spin it. And these are just basics because more detail can go into them, but I'm just giving a brief synopsis on what the chakras are. And after that, you have your solar plex chakra, and that is from the tip of your navel to where your breastbone is, and that color is yellow. And that's your will to do things. You know, you'll find somebody who has an overactive chakra. They become workaholics, if you would. You know, they don't rest. And if that chakra is underactive, if you would, you may have someone, I don't know, 50 years old, living in their parents' basement, playing video games all day because they don't have the will to do things, you know? After that, of course, is the heart chakra. Now, the heart chakra is from where your breastbone is and your collarbone is. And a lot of people think, oh, it's the heart chakra, so it's pink, but it's actually green. And of course, we know what the heart chakra governs. It governs love, it governs forgiveness. It can be infiltrated by hate and anger, depending on if it's overactive, balanced, or overactive. And right above that, you have your throat chakra. So your throat chakra starts where the collarbone is, and then it stops where the tip of your nose is. And of course, that color is blue. So I like to visualize it in the navy blue, the darkest that I can from when I spin it. And it'll look like a little funnel, like a little tornado when you spin it too. That's how you know you really got it down pat. And y'all know what that governs is, you know, your speech, your speaking your truth, and things like that. So then, of course, if it's underactive, you know, people are silent, they're afraid to speak in front of crowds. They may have, they may stutter a lot. It can be a lot of things. So after that, of course, you have your third eye chakra, which is everybody's
Yeah.
favorite chakra, that third eye. And it starts at the tip of your and it ends right here. And of course, depending on who you talk to, they can say it's indigo. Some people say it's purple. Um, and of course, that governs a very interesting aspect of spirituality, you know, seeing through across the veil, um, reading people's energy, communicating, excuse me, communicating with different beings and entities. And yeah, the third eye is very special. And
Yeah.
right after that, of course, you have your crown chakra, and that's more of like a lavender color, if you would. And it starts here and it goes about a few inches up above your head. So these people are what's considered claircognizant. They
Yeah.
just know things. The universe
Hmm.
just sprinkles little bits of information on them, and that's pretty much how that goes. And they kind of know things. They kind of know things. So of course, the third eye is more clairvoyant than anything. So for all you psychic mediums out here, Seder practitioners, everybody who does any type of quote unquote psychic work, if you are looking in regards to the chakras, your third eye and your sacral chakra works in conjunction to operate that gift.
Mm. Yeah, it's
So,
interesting that you do it all that way, and yeah, I'm like same. But in Seidr, guys, if any of you are wanting to learn Seidr, Seidr, it is more of an inward intuition, um, using your mediumship. So everything is visual, and when I do it, it's like I have like four major points on the body. The beginning one, they're like they merge together. So whereas I used to bring the energy down from the universe and come down, now you have the top half till you get to the solar plexus coming down, and you have the bottom half coming up, and it meets in the solar plexus, and it swirls and it grows and it takes over the whole body, and you've got everything combined. And it was a new way of doing it, but it can help you when you're doing your traveling. It's like putting on a space suit and traveling. It's you can't see it on you, but you can feel it, and you can feel the energies. But the third eye in particular, it sort of grows huge, and you can feel it where it comes out the other side, and there's like a
wow.
huge flower that appears on it, and you can feel it, and it blinks and it moves and it looks. And whenever I'm using that in my journeys, I see the crows and the ravens, and they all come flocking and they all chirp at me at the same time. It is a, an amazing experience, and it is so different, yet it's still the same in some ways.
Absolutely. I agree that it's the same. You know, depending on where you are in the world, what country you live in, what traditions
Mm.
you are brought up in, they all are taught differently, you know,
Yeah,
and again, it's still all universal though. They still work. I don't want to say they operate the same way when we do it differently, but they all have it seems like they have the same outcome though, you know?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
done different depending on where you are in the world. And I find that very interesting. I've never tried it in the way that you explained, as far as bringing it, you know, from the top where the solar plexus, and then just simultaneously bringing it up from the bottom in order to
yeah,
make it expand. And of course, when you were stating this, I was just visualizing it, and I could not imagine how that will feel, you know, at the moment. But a part of me felt like, okay, would I feel like a hot air balloon, you know, if it started like expanding in one spot, you know? I think that's pretty cool. I definitely want to try that aspect one day.
yeah,
Interesting, because I can't even imagine how the Hindus operate in regards to the chakras. That I'm sure
yeah.
that's a whole different experience right there.
But like. when I was training, a lot of people will use their chakras and not clean them. And
Right.
you know, I would do at least once a week, I would do a complete wash through
Mhm.
and make sure, so you're visualizing the water coming in at the top and going down, then coming up and going out again. And it's like that. And you
Absolutely.
feel so clean afterwards.
Oh
It's
yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You must do similar, I would presume.
I do. I do. I absolutely do. Or I just I spend them. People spend other people's chakras when they heal them, but I spend my own. And once I do that, the way that I spend them, it seems like it cleans anyway. It's almost like
Yeah.
when you go to a car wash and they have those little tassels to kind of go around and hit
Oh
your car.
yeah.
It's something like that when I spend them. It's like they're being flushed and clean as I spend them. And I've
Yeah.
actually thought about the aspect of bringing the water in, but the water is has little sparkly energy in it, like that, like cleansing energy, if you would, and it goes through each and every chakra, and it cleanses me like that, and I'll get like a temporary like cold chill go through my body, and that's when I know that okay, it's working, because it cleanses, and then after I do it, I find that I'm in a higher vibration. I
Yeah.
find that I can see more clear. I find that my mood is better. I feel more
Mm.
happier, more joyful, more confident. Because when we do spiritual work, we have to catch ourselves sometimes. And this is with any gift that you have, because they do
Yeah.
different parts of your body,
Mm.
wise, depending on what gift you are using. So if we're healing people on a regular basis, we have to cleanse ourselves,
Yeah.
So I cleanse myself through the methods that you explain, but I also take spiritual baths as well to cleanse my
Definitely. Mm.
chakras. That's the use of boiling different specific herbs and,
Mm-hmm.
invoking different chants over the
Mm.
herb and dumping it in the bath water and
Yeah.
in that bath water for 20 to 30 minutes and visualizing myself being cleansed. And
Yeah.
because, we're taking on other people's energy
This
when
is it. The funny thing is, even in coven, we would bless with salt into the water and put like different herbs in, but we would bless the salt going into the water and then bless the water. So you would have to submerge the whole of yourself in it so
absolutely.
that every orifice would be filled. So even in like witchcraft, they do similar. And I was going to say, this is another thing that I do, which is quite interesting. If I can get it, hang on. With my staff. Now, this is like the snake. I'll put it down a bit so people can see. In Seidr, guys, you are the staff bearer. So you're holding your staff. Your energy will be within that staff because you've created it, you've put it all in. And with your chakras, you can do this exercise where you actually stick it to the chakra. It is the snake that will protect you or guard you or can be but like poison. So the snake goes before you. But when you're working with chakras, you can also promote that energy via your staff and it will build up that chakra energy in the staff. You can use it powerfully in spells. So what you would do is you would put it towards the body. You would visualize your third eye opening and put your head onto the staff and visualize it going into the staff, and then the rest of the chakras also. Or you could pick a specific chakra for whatever it is you're doing. So if you wanted more insight in something, you'd open up your third eye and do that onto your staff. You could have crystals on your staff and build the energies up in that. And so when you shut down after, it's still powerful, and you build it up over time and it becomes very powerful.
Oh, wow. Looks like we're going to have to give you a staff.
Yes, I keep telling you. Yes, definitely.
Yours looks so cool, you know, and I found one that looks cool like that yet. It's these sticks are rubbish compared to yours. Yours looks very very, very mythical. I like that.
It's the English woods. We get a lot of rain here.
So I need to take a trip, get some wood and come back.
So yeah, I just think we use them in so many ways, the chakras, without even thinking about it sometimes.
I agree. I agree. I agree
Yeah.
wholeheartedly. We do a lot of things that we don't know that we're doing yet, and then when we learn, we're like, wait a minute. I used to do that. This is what I was doing. It's almost like you're finally
Yeah.
answering the call,
Yeah.
call to action to what you're supposed to be doing. So I
Yeah.
think that's amazing. And again, just learning from different parts of the world, because I'm not saying people in the US don't use staffs. I'm pretty sure they do. I've never seen
Probably.
US use staff before, but I know there are different traditions that come along with it as well. But that looks cool. I definitely need to get a staff.
And the brilliant thing is you're putting your energy into it, and it becomes part of you, like the drum. It becomes part of you. And it's your friend, it's your partner, it's everything. And you're lost without it, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And when I first made it, I had to sleep with it. I had to sleep in my bed with it.
How
For
long did you have to sleep with it for?
6 weeks, I slept in bed with it. Did the
Okay.
same with my drum, so
You
that you
know,
become,
it's interesting because the first thing I thought about when you said that 6 weeks, I'm sure that, oh, correct me if I'm wrong, that you have any vivid dreams of any
yes,
sort,
you do.
like,
Yeah.
you know?
You journey a lot while in that time, because it's getting to know you and you're getting to know it. But not only that, you've got to realize that's come from the woods. It's come from a place of energy. It's come from a place of life as we don't know, varies, all sorts of life, and that is within that wood. So you have to get to know it. You have to
Mhm.
get it on your side. You have to get it to want to be with you. And
Right.
so it's like a partnership. So it's like when you get a new friend, you have to learn about it. You have to let it learn about you. You have to be
Mhm.
open with it. You can't hide anything from it. It's a
Mhm.
truth thing as well. So
Wow.
it knows you and you know it. And it becomes part of you. So like if I died tomorrow, if I got
Mhm.
buried, that would go with me in the coffin.
Okay.
So would my drum.
Okay.
you know.
So as far as the staff goes, um, how would you utilize your staff for protective purposes? How would you protect yourself with your staff?
Well, it's a bit I mean, I would coat it in things like frankincense and
Okay.
dragon's blood and stuff
Hmm.
like that. I
Hmm.
would then hold it close to my heart.
Hmm.
I would send message to it and
Okay.
receive message back. It would know my feelings of what was going on, and
Okay.
it would then send me pictures of what I should do. But mainly you put a circle around you with it. So you go like this and you build up the power, and you visualize that white energy going all around you. And
Right.
then if you want to push something away with that energy, you just go and it fires it out. So it becomes like a weapon. And yeah, it's really cool.
That's interesting. I do see people sometimes with staffs in certain religions that they actually raise it and they hit the ground with it.
Yeah, you
So
do that in Seidr. You tap the ground, but basically it's because you are using that energy to open up the realms, the underworld.
gotcha. Okay, that makes perfect sense. From what I've
Yeah,
seen, that makes perfect sense. That
yeah.
is very.
So if you're going to do a lot of work with, say, the dead, or like when I go to hell and I
Mhm.
meet her, I will take my staff. My staff goes before me and it opens the way. So I'll be tapping the earth while I'm visualizing. So you
Mhm.
find yourself, like, if you go outside and you're tapping the earth, you can
Mhm.
feel it open. You can feel the caverns opening. And yeah, it's an amazing feeling.
That's interesting. Very
Yeah,
interesting. I've never worked with the dead in that particular way, using the staff, of course.
yeah,
We both work with the dead, but I've never utilized a staff with that. That's just something that I'm going to add to my teachings,
yeah.
my arsenal, if you would, to learn how to use the staff. That's pretty brilliant, as a matter of fact.
It's amazing what you can do with the drum as well, because like you can journey with the drum
Mhm.
and you can be in 3 places at once.
That
You
is
can
true.
be, yeah,
Interesting. That is very true. I remember something that you helped me with a while back, and you utilized the drum, and I was able to get in the trance-like state
yeah,
and journey to find what I needed to find and what I needed to heal or remove. And
yeah,
it was very, very, very interesting to do that. Yep, that exact drum right there. I remember as soon as
yeah.
and it didn't take long
So
at all.
what people don't realize is, like in Seidr, we use the drum for all sorts of things.
Mhm.
Now, a lot of people get embarrassed when they do this, but to start with, if you just rub it, you're
Mhm.
rubbing it, you're getting that sound in your mind, and you go with it with your voice. So you'll be going, and it doesn't matter what noise you make because it's connecting and you're connecting. And so that voice then comes into something, and it will be going something like, and then you might go, ah, and it sounds really weird, but that energy and that voice then goes to the higher realms, and it connects you. It
That's it.
connects you.
Because the moment that you started circling around the drum, because you did it about 2 or 3 times, but each time you did it, I would feel something start rising on the top of my
Yeah,
head. That
yeah,
very, and I'm not even connected to your drum. It's like, well, why am I
no,
feeling? You know?
yeah. And that's why you can actually hypnotize a crowd of people with a drum.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. Hmm. There's so many mythical things out here that are they're at our disposal, and a lot of people
definitely.
don't use it. They don't use it. A lot of people don't know, or some people who have heard about it, they just don't understand it, if you would. And I think
Mm,
because of that, they, I guess, in turn, come to people like us in order to heal them.
mm,
In a perfect world, we all should know how to heal ourselves.
definitely.
We all serve a purpose on the planet, and of course, with you and I, we're definitely put here for a big part of our destiny is to raise the vibration of humanity,
Yeah,
and just to add wholeness to people the best way that we can, and in turn teach people how to stand that vibration and
yeah.
learn how to heal themselves.
It's um it's an amazing feeling to be working with energy, guys. If you are wanting to learn more, me and Kirk will be talking all the different issues to do with how to connect to your spirituality, to learn about yourselves first, to understand what is going on before you actually attempt to do things. Like in Seidr, a lot of people think it's like textbook. You can find a book on it and learn how to do it. It's an inward path. It comes to you through the gods and the goddesses and whoever wants to train you. You're getting that information firsthand. It's not coming from books. It's not coming from people. So yes, you can have, I don't know what they would call it. If you can get someone who is trained in it to help you, they will. But it still comes down to yourself, and it comes down to how you're going to practice, because it will be totally different to how that person practices, because it's an inward thing. And a lot of people don't realize that.
Absolutely. And also, everyone, when we teach you things on this channel, we're not just going to throw something out there and tell you guys to do something this way or that way. We're teaching you how to do this, but we're also the opposite of things too. So let's just say, for example, I'm just going to throw something out there. Not saying that we're going to do this, but I'm just throwing something random out here. Let's just say if we're teaching you how to open a portal, we're also going to teach you how to close that portal, if that makes any sense. Because a lot of people go on these social media sites and they go looking for different things to do, and magic and healing or witchcraft, if you would, and they do these things, but they don't know how to seal it off when they're done. So they leave a lot of things open, which in turn can cause some chaos in your life, you know? So between Tova and I, we have a lot of experience. We have years of experience in our particular crafts. And that's why we are able to utilize this on this channel in order to teach you guys the right way.
And that's the thing, guys. This is the reason for this channel. There's a lot of people out there that are wanting help, but there's also people out there that don't understand what's going on in their lives. And so we're going to be sharing our experiences and our knowledge with you to help you. And the first thing that all of you must recognize is you need to be grounded and protected. That is the first law of any magical or spiritual practice, to be grounded and to be protected. And it's not because there's all these bogeymen out there or these demons. There are, but what I'm saying to you is they're not aiming at you. But you need to make sure you feel safe, that you feel grounded before you do anything. Otherwise, slightest thing that happens, you're going to be so scared and it's going to interfere with your life. And that's not what you want. You want to be doing things with a lot of confidence, understanding, and knowledge that you are safe. And that is what the first law is: grounding, protection.
Very important. Very important.
So I hope you guys like what you're hearing here, because we just want to be sharing stuff with you. And there'll be weeks where we'll go live and we can have a good chat with each other. But obviously it's a new channel and we're trying to build it up. So if you would like to, and I'm going to say, please press that button, please subscribe and tell your friends, because this is going to be a really cool place to come see us when we're chatting. What do you think, Kirk?
It'll definitely help the channel. I want to thank everyone for watching, and make sure you drop a comment down below and let us know what you think of this video, any suggestions or what we should talk about. We're open to it. You know, don't be afraid to communicate with us. We are here to help, and we are here to teach, and we're here to give out information that will help you in your spiritual journey. People who are just starting their spiritual journey, and you may not know where to go, or you may not know your path yet. This channel can definitely give you some insight on different aspects of spirituality.
So I think we might as well leave it there for this first one then. And be lovely to see you all again. If you've come here and watched, it's brilliant. Welcome, and hope you subscribe and enjoy. And we'll see you again really soon. So from me, Tova.
And me, Kirk Torian.
Hail and farewell.
Have a good day, everyone.